Call it artificial intelligence taking over, or cost-cutting measures, or ways to boost profitability and diversification. Whatever be the reason, the fact is that global layoffs are now a reality. And it is across sectors from tech giants to global banks, electronics and auto, even retail and consumption are all sectors that have been impacted. Now, of course, for you to know that this reality is impacting thousands across the board, while some companies say they aim to modernize operations or look at future competitiveness and simplifying work structure, others are saying that artificial intelligence and automation are, of course, huge factors that have led to this. However, for this, of course, to decode this further, I'm joined by Peter Cardillo. He is the Chief Market Economist at Spartan Capital Securities. Thank you for your time, Peter. Is it, of course, time for companies to streamline processes before things truly spiral?
Well, I think there's so much uncertainties around, and no one really knows what's going to happen, the end results of the tariffs. And so there are many companies that are beginning to take precautionary measures, and they're beginning to lay off people. Now, of course, some of that is also due to the fact that that the economy here in the States has weakened, and so the CEOs are becoming somewhat more lenient, and I think that's again due to the uncertainties that are stemming from the tariffs.
Right, Peter. How much of this pain then that we are seeing across companies, across organizations, across the globe is related to automation, and how much is it really about cost cutting and profitability?
Exactly. It's always the bottom line that counts. So if you don't know what's going to happen, and you're faced with higher cost, and that means less margins, and so companies are beginning to react to that. Now, this has been a steady stream, I would say, over the past 4 to 5 months, where we're seeing companies beginning to announce layoffs. Now, not every company is doing it. It's basically mostly tied up in various sectors. And so we're seeing some of the big tech companies beginning to make layoffs. And of course, it's a question of margins. It's a question of trying to continue to earn money and continue to grow your earnings. So this does happen, and again, in uncertain times, it becomes very, very, very frequent.
All right, Peter. Well, then how much of this is about simplifying work structures and reducing layers of hierarchy, managerial posts altogether?
Well, it depends, right now, I mean, I'm reading and hearing that it's mostly pretty much across the board. But of course, layoffs are not all that in terms, in percentage terms, they haven't been all that great. Some of the larger companies, 10, 15,000. And, here in the States, the biggest enterprise that is laying off people has been the government itself. Now, a lot of these have not shown up in the labor reports, but eventually they will. And that takes us to the next question is where are the economies headed? At least where is the U.S. economy headed?
Right. You talk about tough times for the U.S. economy. Take us through the state of the U.S. economy then, from tariff uncertainty earlier to now concerns of U.S. debt piling.
Yeah. Well, the bond market has been acting negatively to the proposed tax cut and budget bill, and just today it was passed in the House, and it's now going to go to the Senate. Now, of course, it'll probably be dissected even more, but certainly if it stays pretty much in its present status, it means adding more to the deficits. And there are numbers out there anywhere from $3 to $7 trillion. And that's why the bond market has been spooked. And that obviously is a negative for stocks. Anytime you have a big jump in yields, it always is a strong headwind for stocks. And so, and that's because, of course, again, the cost goes up, cost factors go up. And so this is the period that we are undergoing now. And also, there's always that tariffs fear. And that's another reason why stocks seem to be basically doing much of anything, and at times responding with steep losses, and other times responding with strong gains.
Lastly, what about those who have lost their job or those who are looking at entering the workforce now, Peter? Your message to them as well as to investors who have been dealing with constant uncertainty.
Yeah, well, let me first start off by saying it's a good question that you asked about people trying to enter the job markets or trying to find jobs. Just today we had jobless claims come out. That was insignificant, not much of a headline news, but we did have continuous claims that were up by 36,000, and that basically tells us that people are staying on the unemployment line longer, and it's getting harder to find a job. So yes, it all ties into it. And again, it goes down to the uncertainty factor. And when you have uncertainty, whether it be in the stock market, whether it be in the bond market, whether it be in the labor market, whether it be in any market, it always has a crippling effect. And I think that indicates that we're probably headed for some trouble in the U.S. economy.
Thank you for this insightful interaction and your time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.